Hello everybody, this is Storm 101 here. Today we'll be looking at the winter forecast, well at least for my forecast for 2018 for 2019. Now before I start this video, just want to ask you all if you all want to subscribe to my channel. If you never want to miss an upload, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon, and don't forget to leave a like and leave a comment what you think about the video wherever you're done watching this. Now let's go ahead and get started. So, on this here, we'll be looking at examples of what could happen and a couple models that I want to show you all. Now, this is probably going to be a long video, so I'm going to try to keep it as short as I can. So first, we're going to be looking at the ENSO recent evolution, current status, and predictions. Now, right now, for the summary, it's pretty much there's a 60% chance of an El Niño in the north by the fall, and increasing to 70% chance during the winter time. Now this is NOAA's prediction. Right now, things have been pretty strange. I mean, during the summer of June and July, it's been pretty warm, and everybody's been hoping for to like El Niño develop, but the trade winds has not been acting like they should have. So things have been cooling down. So right now it's at a neutral phase for right now. And now this is one of the most important things here. So El Niño 4 is 0.4 degrees Celsius above average. Niño 3.4 is also slightly above average with 0.3 Celsius. Niño 3 is about average, and Niño 1 plus 2 is actually in the only one that's below average at this point. Now, as you can see here on these charts here, things were really going up, as you can see here, but things have been trending down, especially for Niño 4. Right now it's going down, so most of everything's going down more towards a La Niña. I'm not saying a La Niña is going to happen. I strongly disagree that a La Niña is going to be developing. If we go down to the next slide, here's your temperatures for right now. So we got slightly below average temperatures, around average for the most part. It's at a neutral phase. We do have a little bit of a warming going on around there, but we're going to see what's going to happen there. But if we look closely, there's a big blob of warm water over here that's likely could be moving east. That's the one we're going to have to be watching closely, because if it moves east, this could potentially be a Madoka, an El Niño Madoka. And I'll show you all about that in a moment. There's another one from the last 4 weeks. Pass on that. Pass on that. Pass on that. Here's another chart. As you can see here, it is going up a little bit, but I'm expecting that to go back down. It's been trending up for quite a bit. In January, on the first month, it has really been warming up. They cool down a little bit in February, then warms back up pretty darn quickly. Now, here's another important slide. For the last 2 months, there is a lot of, well, here we go. We're going to start on this side here. As you can see here, there was a lot of warm water. Now, that was the indication of an El Niño that everybody was been talking about back in the summertime, around 4th of July. That things been cooling down, but it did gain some strength a little bit, cooling down. Then the blue blob here has been cooling down, but for right now, this area here is warming. That's the thing we're going to watch, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. Past that, well, here's the trade winds here. Now you see trade winds has been a little bit strong. going on in the just west of South America, going on right now between 10 and 15, and it's been going westerly, so it's cooling down. Now, here's another good chart here, weekly heat content. As you can see here, back of last year, it was a La Nina. It was still a La Nina during January. Then it really warms up in February, and that continues on. You see here, it's warming there at this point. This one here has been cooling down. We did have a big red block there. Well, it didn't make it that much. There's Precept there. Y'all can take a look at that a little bit. Pause the video on that. There's also that. Few areas of cooling and warming. It's been warming a little bit, but it's now cooling down. We wanted to watch these two areas in particular that's been warming. Don't know why I didn't circle that. I don't know why, but they just didn't. And if we're about done here. Okay, here we go. Now, here's this chart here. I'm going to likely see this decreased. It decreased by 1% during the wintertime period. It was at 72, now it's down to 71%. Now, things has been decreasing, so I'm likely going to see that. El Nino has not been developing like it should, so that's why numbers are starting to go down. So yeah, here's all the models here on this chart. As you can see here, you have to be above 0.5 degrees. No, it's actually around 1 degree to be an El Nino. Now, everything has been staying around that line. So, we'll be watching that. Says El Nino will likely develop next month into November. We'll see that. Now, this is the CFS forecast. Now CFS forecast it's always been warmer, and they always been warmer. They usually overdone with warm. So as you can see here, it's watching possibly moderate El Nino, which I don't think it's not gonna happen for moderate wise. Past that. I think we're about done here. The last 30 days there, it's been cooler for the central United States. And oh yeah, here's the NOAA's prediction for the long term. Now this was made back in August 16th. As you can see here, is this during the fall? Yeah, this is during the fall. Now most of the United States, they got it equal chances. Now, I do agree on precipitation. I think it's going to be pretty well above average for monsoon activity, you know. Below average for the Northwest, and also another area above average in around Florida. Temperature-wise, it's like an on that one. See, they got most of the United States above average, but I think, as you can see here, the only areas, the coolest is down in the southeast a little bit more in Florida. So they did issue an El Nino watch on the summary here. Okay, now let's look at what the difference is between an El Nino and El Nino Madokai. For El Nino Madokai, it's warm in the center. Now, that's kind of what it is, very similar right now, but you cannot tell by that. You cannot say that for right now. Cooling just west of South America, and also cooling just north of Australia. And that's the same picture. Here we go. Now, this is a El Nino here. It's basically the warm just off the coast of South America, and then it goes out into the Central Pacific Ocean along the equator. Now, the effects on the El Nino. Well, what are the effects? Well, it's drier conditions around the Ohio Valley. It's warm than average temperatures for the northern states. Then it's wet and cooler than average for the southern states, stretching from California all the way to North Carolina. So this is what you typically see during an El Nino, but every winter for El Nino, La Nina wise, is always a different winter. Every year is always a different winter. It's not going to look exactly like this, but this can be a possibility. Now, if we look at the jam stack here, now that's the fall, showing a possible Madoka El Nino, but we're more focused on the winter on this video. Now this is showing more of a, you could say, a possible weak to moderate El Nino. It's what's kind of showing here, but most of the models has been trending on a Madoka El Nino for right now. Now, if we go to precipitation anomaly, I've already gone through this before in my past. Now this is a little bit more of a particularly El Nino setup. You got drier conditions for the Ohio Valley. You got above average precipitation for the southeastern United States. Going along for Texas. Go to California. For some reason it's got it below average for Central California. Don't know what triggered that, but that's what's prediction. Now this is more accurate than the CFS model. And if we go to surface air temperatures, it's predicting mostly around to slightly above average temperatures for most of the United States. Now, like I said, I feel like I disagree on this. I think it'll be cooler than average in the southeast. And it's only showing cooler than average for Nevada, Utah, most of Arizona, and for California. Now, the El Nino index, it's been predicting just below the 1 for right now. Just below 1. So it's not typically an El Nino. It's more of a pretty weak one. The El Nino Madoka, same similar story. Still staying under, but it has a little jump towards the end of winter. But we're going to see. Now it's time to go to the CFS model that always keeps things above average. Now September, October, November, December, January, February, however, is showing cooler than average for the southern United States. And that continues on. It don't show much of a below average most of the time. Now for precipitation, going October, November, December there. Most of the United States is actually below average there on December. Especially for California, that's kind of interesting there. But above average for Florida, more neutral, kind of neutral, than more below average for the eastern United States and for the northwest and the northeast. For March and April, it's mostly above average, and so on forth. Now, well, actually first, let's check on a different model, CAN-SIP's model. Let's take a look on this model. As you can see here, this is a little bit of an accurate model. On December, it's showing mostly below average. This is kind of more of a Madoka El Nino setup you'll typically see for here. And that is December. There's January. Sorry if I'm moving the camera too much. It's been keeping it below average for the southeastern United States. So, yeah. Here's another good one there. Pretty below average for September, but it's showing mostly above average there. Now it is time for my forecast. We'll start on precipitation. There it is. Now for precipitation, I am predicting slightly below average temperatures for a part of the Ohio Valley stretching up into Wisconsin and Minnesota, just because of the setup of a possibility of an El Nino, and sometimes it could be a Madoka El Nino, which that could trigger to be more to the north, into the Great Lakes region. Talk about below average precipitation as well for the Northwest. Now this is overall for the winter, by the way. Now we're going to have slightly above average precipitation for most of the southern states, and also above average precipitation for Florida, and maybe for New Orleans as well. Now, if we go to temperatures, and I've got slightly above average precipitation. Temperatures stretching from the Great Lakes, going past North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Montana, up into Washington State, which I put them above average. And if we go more to the south, however, I put a question mark for like Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, because I don't know if I should put their below average or not. So that's a question mark there. But I do pretty well agree on below average temperatures for Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Now slightly below average stretches from Arizona, kind of jumps up into Kansas. Then it kind of jumps just through Tennessee, and then all the way up into New Jersey. Now, this is all I got for y'all guys today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this winter outlook. Like I said in the beginning, if you never want to miss an upload, hit the subscribe button. Then hit the bell notifications. I do severe weather outlooks, and I know I just missed one today. But school, you know, the enhanced risk that was in today. And also sometimes I do hurricane outlook, sometimes, unless if it's like a major hurricane affecting the United States. And sometimes I do fall forecasts. I did one back early in the month. And I do winter forecasts like on here. I cover winter storms. I also cover the weather for the United States. That's pretty much all I do, and sometimes I do post train videos. And also don't forget to like this video and comment what you think about this video, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.